Hello, Housing Happy Hour friends. I'm Vanessa Cole, co-founder of Coastline Builders, also licensed realtor.
Hi, I'm Katrina Icasa, licensed realtor, mother of 4, entrepreneur. We got into real estate how many years ago? It's been so long.
Yeah, Katrina and I have known each other for about 4 years. We met at a real estate networking event, have always stayed in touch.
Yeah.
Always wanted to work together on a real estate project.
Mm-hmm.
And just through our connecting, we're like, hey, why don't we start a podcast?
Yeah.
Why don't we share with the world all of the real estate information that's in our heads, all of the ventures that we've been in, from the new construction to your flips to helping buyers.
Investing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can provide value to you guys. And we're here today to just bring you guys real estate relevant information and just help you guys make informed decisions in your real estate journey. So we're excited, and let's get started with episode 1, which is
the home buying roller coaster.
911.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like that, right?
So perfect. So Katrina, I'm thinking too, as I'm representing buyers,
Mm-hmm.
they're always saying, okay, where do I start? I know my credit is messed up, or do I start looking for houses? Where do we start?
Well, the first step is you want to get pre-approved. You want to get it pre-approved with your trusted lender or your trusted banker. That's the first place to start, so you can know where you're at, finances, your credit. But you can also, use Yelp, Google.
Online reviews.
Yeah. Ask your family and friends who they used.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm the buyer. I've now been pre-approved. I have my pre-approval letter. Then what?
Well, then it's time to look at your goals and, how much do you want to spend a month? Because a lot of times they're going to approve you for more than what you really can spend or should spend or want to spend per month. Because you also need to keep in mind your utilities, your insurance, your taxes, your PMI if you don't put 20% down.
Yes.
So you want to kind of reel in what is your goal from that point, maybe your 5-year goal, 10-year goal.
Yes. So decide your budget. And the best way to do that is starting with your monthly budget.
Right.
So if you know that you're currently spending $1,500 a month on rent, do you want to continue spending that?
Right.
Or do you want to go less? Are you able to squeeze in a little more?
Right.
And so that's where, we tell our buyers, start with your monthly budget.
Well, next, I think it's good to look at a buying criteria to figure out what it is you're looking for in a house. Location is usually the most important. Maybe school, where it's located, size, square foot, the amount of bedrooms, bathrooms, kind of wheel in what is your top priorities? Because when you go look with a realtor, you're not going to find your perfect house that has every single thing you want, most likely. That's pretty uncommon.
Yes. And one thing that we have put together for you guys is a super detailed buying criteria sheet. So if you want to email us, we'll put our email address in the show notes after the episode. And it'll be a nice, lengthy, extensive buying criteria. It'll have in there your location, things you need to know, the financial aspect, things you need to know, bedroom size, all the things that are important to you. So please email us and we'd be happy to share that with you, which will help you get very clear when you're ready to make that
what your goal is.
Decision.
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier. Next, you want to find your professional, like your realtor. You got a bestie that's a realtor. There you go. If not, we're licensed realtors. We'll hook you up.
Yes, shoot us an email if you need help finding a local realtor in your area. We are in Houston, Texas, so we cover Houston and the surrounding areas, but we also have a database of realtors in other cities and other states, and we can help you with that process. Yeah. We can help you vet them. Are they strong in that current local market? Are they strong in negotiations? Are they strong in their follow through and making sure that they specialize in working with home buyers?
Right.
So shoot us an email. We're more than happy to help find you somebody who is perfect fit for you.
Yeah, I like that.
And also reviews, as Katrina said earlier, your Yelp reviews, your local MLS reviews, that'll help you find someone strong.
So once you find your professional, now it's time to go find that house.
Yes. House hunting. This is exciting part.
Yeah.
It's exciting, but also stressful.
Yeah, I think this is the part where most people, they get their tiffs with their spouse or whoever they're buying with because,
Right.
hey, I like this house,
Yeah.
but I like the other house. So I think that's where it's like the
Right.
pressure's on, right?
And this is why the buying criteria that we will email to you guys is so important, because as you sit down with your partner and you're going through that entire questionnaire, you're able to get really clear with your needs, short-term and long-term
Right.
goals. So,
And you can
Okay.
take that with you to each house you look at.
absolutely.
You can remember, hey, we have what we want right here.
Yeah. And
Let's not get sidetracked.
yeah, because in some cases for a guy, their man cave could be very important to them before a woman. Like for me, my home office
Yeah.
is super important to me.
Yeah.
So, and then as a mother,
You got to have space for
my
the
kids have to have the art room, so having that with you while you're touring the houses is very helpful, because
Right.
you're able to keep everything in one location and you can help make an informed decision.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree.
Okay, so now you found the house. Now what's next?
We got to put an offer on the house.
We have to put an offer. We have to write a contract. So this part can seem a little scary only because now we're getting into the technical terms of the offer.
Yeah,
We're now stating the price that you're going to offer.
right.
We're putting in there, how much are you putting down?
Yeah,
5%, 10%, 20%, right? What are you asking the seller for?
yeah. What are they going to contribute?
Yeah. Are you asking them for $2,000, $5,000? In some cases, I've seen people ask sellers for $10,000, $15,000.
Right.
Right. Are you asking the seller to provide a home warranty
Yeah,
on your house?
that's important.
All these things. And this is why working with a professional is important, so they can help you negotiate those terms. Because another thing to consider is, what type of market are you in?
Right.
Are you in a seller's market? Are you in a buyer's market?
Yeah, because
'Cause
if you're in a
some-
buyer's market, the ball's in your court. You have more say so. You have all the negotiating power.
Yes.
And it's good to know that. And it's good if your realtor also is aware of what is the current status.
Yeah. But if you're in a seller's market, just be prepared to compete with other buyers
Right.
who are also in that same house. So now your offer may not be as strong
Right.
as you would like it to be. And maybe now you have to come out of pocket more.
Right.
But
Or
that's
you might
okay.
end up in that bidding war where you
Yes.
have multiple offers. And now the realtor on the other side is going to come back and say, well, we need your best offer.
Mm-hmm.
And you might go through this process. I've been with clients that went through the bidding war process 2-3 times on 2 or 3 different houses before they finally got the one that was perfect for them. But I think in life, everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
When they finally got that house, it was like, yeah, I'm so glad we didn't get those other houses. This is
Yes.
the one that's meant for us,
It was
right?
perfect. Okay, so now the offer has been accepted. The seller has accepted all the terms as is.
Mhm.
Now what?
Now we have to start writing checks. It's time to show the money.
Show the money. So there are 2 checks that you have to write. The first check is to the title company, and that's your earnest money. So that's you showing good faith. That's you saying, yes, I am serious about buying this house.
Right.
And then the second check is,
It goes to the seller, and it's for your option period. Your option period is 7-10 days. It gives you time to do your due diligence, to hire your inspector. Never
Yes.
buy a house without an inspector. Make sure that house is safe, sound, ready to go
Yes.
before you move in and you have a problem.
absolutely. And so what we like to call this phase, now that we're under contract, is the due diligence phase.
Right.
And due diligence is happening in 3 areas. 1, your lender. So your lender is still doing due diligence on you as the buyer,
Yeah.
making sure that you're qualified and ready.
Right.
2, the title company is now doing due diligence on your house.
Right.
This house that you're getting prepared to purchase, their job is to make sure that there are no liens, no judgments, that this house is free and clear.
That's right.
And then the third thing is you
Yeah.
doing the due diligence as the buyer. As Katrina mentioned earlier, you're going to hire a professional inspector to inspect that property from the top to the bottom to ensure that you're buying a structurally sound house.
And during the due diligence, your lender will also hire an appraiser to put an appraisal on the home to make sure the home is worth the value that you're paying. This is also to protect you, to make sure that you're not buying a home and you're upside down in the loan the day you move in.
Absolutely.
So this is just all part of that process. For me, I think this period going back and forth with the lender can be one of the second most stressful time. I know when I bought my first home, it was a roller coaster. It was literally up and down, because once you get your pre-approval, that doesn't mean that you have a loan. You don't have the loan until you sign on closing day. And so it was like every day they would be asking for a new paperwork, a new document to cover things that were on our credit report. For me, I had just graduated college. I had lots of student loan debt, and they wanted to know, well, what was my monthly payment on the student loans going to be? When was it going to be paid off? And I needed to get on the phone with every lender, get statements written to the new home lender. And so it was just a process that I was just like, oh my gosh, is this ever going to end? Are they ever going to tell me that I can move in? Because my lease where I was living was almost up. And so I was like, I don't want to be homeless. I just need to know if I'm going to get moved into this house or if I need to get another house.
Right.
So for me, I think many people probably experience that. It's the up and down, back and forth. Give me more paperwork. Give me this. We need this to make sure you're good to go.
And I have a question. Did your lender and your agent at the time, did they prepare you for the type of documentation that you should be prepared to submit?
No. I didn't have a realtor at that time. We bought a new home. So we dealt with the builder's salesperson, and they were like, it's pretty easy, seamless. Sign these documents. We'll get you set up with our preferred lender. And, when you use the builder's lender, then you get...
The builder offers incentives.
Incentives. Yes, that's it. They have incentives. And
but
so,
not us.
No.
We are a builder that cares for you.
They didn't prepare me for that. And so, again, it was my first time buying. I wasn't a realtor yet. I hadn't been through this before. So for me, it was just like every day I was like, okay, so is this house mine or not mine? Are you going to give it to somebody else?
Absolutely.
So just be calm. It's all part of the process. They have to get every paperwork and document. They need a stack this deep.
Yes.
But just be patient and you'll make it to the finish line.
But this is really good. And this is why having someone experienced on your team and also knowing what questions to ask.
Yeah.
Because this is the whole point of the podcast. We want to make sure that you guys are equipped to know what questions to ask your lender and your agent. You need to have your 2 pay stubs ready, your bank statements, your 2 years tax returns.
That's right. Yeah.
And if you have any cash transactions going on, the lender wants to know what those cash transactions are about.
Yes, exactly.
Just to prevent money fraud or laundering.
When they see large, like for instance, for my example, we moved money from another account to that account to cover the down payment. And this was like right before closing. And then they needed us to back up the trail and show them where this money came from, that it just didn't magically appear into the account. So yes, they want documents of everything. Your bank statements, your tax returns, your pay stubs. And the more prepared you are, I think when you start the process, the less stressful it is in the middle of it.
Absolutely. So if you have all your documents organized, ready to submit, you're well-informed, well-prepared, I feel like you should be good for the most part. Now, if you have any collections or anything popping up in the end, that's another thing to take care of later.
Don't go get a loan for furniture or a new car while you already started this process of buying the home, because that will kick you right out of the process.
Try not to spend anything if you can.
It's just 30, 45 days.
Yes. Yeah. The process about 30, 45 days.
Well, now we made it to closing day.
So closing day is exciting. It's very exciting. And it's like I tell all of our buyers, this is now your new baby.
Yeah.
This is your new baby. You have to love and care for your baby. Take great care of it so it can hold its value just like your child. Yeah. Right. So closing day is great. The title company will tell you to bring your ID and a cashier's check and what that amount is. Your lender will also provide a closing disclosure 3 days prior, so you can review all your term sheet and all of the numbers on there, what you're paying, what the seller is paying. And usually your agent and your lender is going over that term sheet with you, or that closing disclosure. And on closing day, it's very simple. You go to the title company, you sign the docs, and you get your keys once the house is funded.
And sometimes you get keys at different places. Remember we were talking about this?
Oh,
you might get the keys to the house, but then you need the keys to the mailbox.
Right.
Or you might need another key for the back door.
Yes.
But that's all part of it.
And that's why you want, again, working with a great agent, someone who's organized and professional, because you need to make sure all of the keys to the house are in a particular place. And let's back up just a little bit, because before closing date, you also want to make sure you do your final walkthrough.
Right.
You want to make sure that house looks exactly how you saw it.
Yes.
And what made you want to buy it initially. Because there have been times when the day before closing, and condenser was stolen.
There's a hole in the wall that wasn't there before.
In the wall. Yeah. There are things that could happen, especially if the house is vacant. So it's nothing to be alarmed about. It's just things that could happen in a vacant home if the sellers haven't left yet. And another thing that I like to add is when you get your pre-approval sheet, you can also shop that around to other lenders. If you want to be a little bit more competitive in your rates, you can provide them the term sheet that first lender gave you and say, hey, can you meet or beat that? Because essentially you want the best deal. Yeah. It's just like car shopping. It's just like shopping anything in general. So
you also want to lock in your rate. Once you have the rate that you want, if you come back to them a week later, once you find the house, that rate may have changed. It may have increased. So you want to lock in the rate once you've decided on a lender.
And or a house too, because if you do lock in your rate too early, then, and that rate lock expires, there's then a penalty that you'd have to pay. So something to talk with your agent and your lender about, to just make sure that time window is good for you when you're buying.
Thank you for tuning in to Housing Happy Hour with Vanessa Cole and Katrina Icasa. If you enjoyed our show and like to learn more, check out our social media pages.
Please help us by clicking subscribe, liking, and commenting, as it helps us share our message. We appreciate you guys so much for tuning in today. We're so excited and would love to hear from you. Please email us any questions you may have, and don't forget to tune into our next episode. Our email is housinghappyhour@gmail.com. And until next time,